Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Very good day to all of you. We are going to learn about summarizing today. Already we have learned about reading comprehension in the last presentation. In that we learned about reading strategies and techniques. How to achieve to the 100% understanding of what we read. So that is pertaining to reading skill. Now this topic which we are going to study today is summarizing, which is also related to reading skill. And of course, whatever we have learnt about reading comprehension, that would be helpful here too. So after achieving 100% comprehension of the given text or given written material, passage, paragraph, whatever, when there is a need to summarize, when we have to shorten the text, summarizing in just simple words, it means shortening. But just as we learned about comprehension, it seems a very simple process at first. You might think that comprehension means just understanding of the text. No, the superficial understanding of the text is not the only implied thing here. It is a complex process that we have already learnt. We have learned how to deal with that process and how to achieve our objective in the best possible way. So here too we are to analyze the entire process of summarizing, what goes into it and how we have to achieve exactly as what we want or how it should be. So let us now start with summarizing. How to summarize? Of course, just as a symbol of signal at the crossing is here indicated, this will be a guideline. We are as if on the crossroads, right? We must know where to go, where is our direction. After understanding completely, this is a further process. Further we have to take the specific road, the specific route to summarize. Okay, so let's go ahead. Summarizing is a powerful reading strategy. It increases comprehension and retention of information. So it is a step ahead from comprehension. Once the comprehension is achieved, now our mind starts coming to the main points. Ultimately, what is the gist of what we have read? So that is again an automatic process, mental process that takes place. But when we are asked to put what we have understood, what is the gist of that material onto the paper, into black and white, then we must know how to do it and how to do it systematically, perfectly. Of course, as it is mentioned here, it's the definition of summarizing. It's just reading strategy, and whatever is required, what is required here is to retain some important information. When you talk about retention, you also talk about discarding something. So what is to be discarded and what is to be retained, that has to be learned and understood properly. So when you summarize, you restate the most important information of a text using your own words. That is very, very important. The skill of summarizing is very useful in both academic and work related situations, for it helps to save the time. But when we are restating, we have to take care that we are not copying word to word. We are not just imitating or reproducing the same, or maybe just we are picking up some sentences and jotting them down and our answer is ready or our summary is ready. No, that's not the thing we here imply, right? Of course, it is the restatement of the most important information of the text, but what is most important is we should use our own words. The restatement should be in our own words. So, of course, in a way, we are creating the original text, recreating the original text. It is a creative process. Summarizing it is not just the process of curtailing, cutting short and then just picking off some sentences and joining them. No, it's not that simple. Of course, you have to undergo the entire process of comprehension before you summarize, and then you are recreating, restating, whatever you have understood, whatever is the theme, into your own words. That is most important. Emphasize on using your own words. There is a misconception that there is just the deletion of some unimportant or unnecessary details or sentences and the summary is ready. Summary is a shortened version, that's true, it is a shortened version, but it is not just simply curtailment. I repeat, it is a creative process. You are recreating the original text again. So now let us go further. A summary can be completed in writing, but also orally, dramatically, artistically, visually, physically, and or musically. So there can be many ways of summarizing. Though we are here learning about the writing skill or the written communication, you may say that yes, summarizing is a part of the writing skill, but it can also be an oral process. I mean, it can be also the oral recreation, or orally also you can summarize. It can be in the form of a drama. It can be in form of any art. It can be visual or by any physical expression. You can express what you want to say or what you have understood. Even it can be in terms of music and sound. So it can be a visual reproduction, it can be a musical, it can be a physical, or any kind of art. It can be a drama or dance or any art. It can be a sculpture or a painting. So ultimately, these are the different forms of summary. Summary means what you have understood, you are expressing, maybe in the written form, maybe in the oral form, or any form of art. So we should not just restrict the meaning of summary to only the written script. The expression of summary can be, or it is possible to express or to summarize in many other different forms, as we have stated here: oral, drama, art, visual, musical, or physical. So now we move on to the next slide. We now focus on summarizing as a writing skill. So, of course, in the first two steps that we have here mentioned, they are common in any kind of summary, in any form of the expression of summary, that is keeping and deleting. So first step is keeping, second is deleting, third is paraphrasing. So paraphrasing is of course the third step, which is the part of only written communication or writing skill. But otherwise, in other forms of summary, as we have just learned, maybe the form of expression is different, which is original of the artist, original of the reader here in the written communication, and the reader becomes the writer when he is summarizing. So paraphrasing is the most important, the third and the most important step in the process of summarizing. We will learn about paraphrasing later in detail, but let me tell you, just as we have learned in the previous slide, that summarizing should be in one's own words. You might say that, okay, paraphrasing is what? It is summarizing. Yes, it is, but it should be in your own words. So that way you can say summarizing is a synonym of paraphrasing, right? And I would like to focus again on the same point, that paraphrasing means you are summarizing in your own words. Now the next one, let us go through these steps one by one in more detail and how to go about it. It is possible, that your summary may be too short. So when you do your first draft, that's why now we will be talking about the 3 steps at the same time while discussing about various possibilities. Your summary, or maybe in your first draft, your summary may be either too short or too long. So one must get the idea of what to keep and what to delete. The most important step, as I told you, is the paraphrasing. But when we are doing it at the first step, you find that whatever you have retained is too short. Then what one should do? Of course, you have to lengthen it. So let me just read out this slide. When you think that your summary is too short, this feedback means that you should add more information to your summary. Check the topic headings in the original text and ask yourself. Check the topic headings in the original text and ask yourself a few questions. Now, which are these questions? When you find your summary is too short, now you have to lengthen it, you have to add to it, right? So you are going through it again, asking yourselves a few questions. Question 1, did I cover all the major topics? So you just see whether you have covered all the major topics or topic sentences, at least you have considered. So check the topic headings, that is the first thing, and ask yourself whether you have covered or not. Number 2, did I include important ideas that give further information about each topic? After identifying the major topics or the main topics, or there may be 1 or 2 or maybe more, you also have to find out whether you have found out the supporting details or the further information about each topic. Ask this question to yourself. Third question that you are supposed to ask is, did I show how the main ideas and supporting information are related? Yes. So just just jotting down the main ideas or just listing the supporting information or details is not sufficient. You have to show them related. The interrelation between the main idea and the supporting details should be made clear. So when you find that you're falling short of the information, so you are going through the passage or the text again, and you are finding out whether you have covered all the major topics or themes stated. You also find out whether what are the supporting details or information, and you also decide whether you should consider them, you should bring them into your summary. And when you decide to bring them into your summary, of course the main ideas would be there, but we are talking about the supporting details. Always bring them with the relationship that they have with the main idea. So that is your job, to bring it out or to at least show in your summary the relationship. So that is important if or provided you are bringing the supporting details into it. So now, what is the next possibility? If you think that your summary is too long, this is another possibility opposite to the earlier one. If you find your summary is too long, then it means that you should shorten your summary naturally. Then ask yourself these questions. Again, the 3 questions that you are going to ask yourself is: did I use any information that is not directly about the overall idea? Are there any details or trivial information that I could leave out? Okay, so when your summary is too long, you have to ask yourself totally a different question: whether you have brought any information into it which has no direct connection to it, which is maybe there is a passing reference in the passage, but then you are not supposed to bring it in your summary, or it's not directly related to the main topic. The information is not very important, it's less important, trivial. So here you have to use your discretion whether the information or the details which you have covered, of course now we are talking about the supporting details, whether they are very important, not to be missed, or whether they are less important, not very necessary, trivial, then they are to be dropped. Can I combine several facts into a single sentence, maybe using a general term? Yes. When you find your summary is too long, you have to again shorten it by using your grammar skill, your knowledge of grammar, vocabulary. If you can use one word for many, if you can use a general term, or maybe convert a complex long sentence into a simple one, there are many ways and means to shorten your script. So ask yourself this question, the second question: can I combine several facts into a single sentence, maybe using a general term? Yes. Apart from the grammar, even the meaning of the sentence or sentences can be brought into one or the minimum possible words. It can be reduced, so, or maybe the general information that you are getting can be restated very briefly by using any general term, a phrase, or maybe a word. So if that is possible, you should do it. Ask yourself this question, right? So now we are into a different reverse process of reduction. Earlier possibility where your summary was too short, you have to do the reverse process. Even the questions that you are asking is about addition, whether you have left anything important, that you have to see. Now here when it is too long, you might have included all points, but sometimes unnecessary details also you might have included, or sometimes very long details you might have included, which you can curtail or cut short, or you're not supposed to miss it, but at least in a different way, in a shorter version, you can include it, you can put it. Now the third question is, did I use or state any information more than one time? Yes, this is another important point which you must take note of. Sometimes, maybe unknowingly, you might have repeated certain details, maybe in other words. So that you have to be very alert and cautious to find out whether you have done that or not. If you have done, then think of the way, either you can delete or just make one statement once, or just change the construction of the sentences that it includes everything in a short version. So the length of the summary is of course important. How do you come to know that your summary is too short or too long, right? So the length of the summary varies depending on the text which you are summarizing. Okay, so the length of the text may vary, and of course the purpose of summarizing also is equally important to decide about the length of the summary. Generally, the length of the summary. Now let us see the next slide. Okay, I would just finish my statement, the earlier statement. The length of the summary varies depending on the original text and also according to the purpose for which it is written. Okay, that is fine. We'll deal with that later. So what should be the length of the summary? But before that, let us continue with this process of summarizing. First, the 3 steps that already we have here been discussing. The first one in that was keeping. Okay, let us decide that we want 1/10 of the length of the original text, or we want 1/4. 1/4 is the maximum, 25% to 30%. Then it becomes 1/3. We know it is called précis. If it is 1/10, it is abstract, or even it is just sometimes, if you are doing it for a novel or a dissertation or a thesis, it is just 1%. There may be hundreds of pages, right? But then your summary may be just in 2 or 3 pages, or maybe depending on that, is just, it comes to nearly 1%. So the length of the summary varies, as I told you, according to the length of the original text. But here we are again into this process of summarizing. The very first thing, once we have in our mind that okay, this should be the length, then when the process of summarizing starts, the first is keeping. What to keep should be very, very clear. You are at any cost, you are not supposed to miss any important detail. So how to do that? Of course, as I told you, it is a reading comprehension process at the same time, and the process goes further when you start summarizing. So now let us come to the very first step. Keep only the important information and main ideas. To keep the main idea or information, one must first go through the text carefully, and for the quick second reading if required. Okay, so this is again a process very much like comprehension, where we are going into the text for the first time carefully, with normal pace of reading, and if required, if you haven't followed or understood completely, maybe it is a difficult text, or maybe there are some difficult words into it, then we go for the next reading. And of course, the next or the second reading is a little bit faster, quicker. It's rapid reading compared to the first one, and it helps. Once, in the first reading, we have understood, of course, maybe the 70 or 80% of the text, and we require still some more time to understand the remaining part. Maybe we have left at some point, we might have skipped the meaning or missed the meaning, right? So we need to go through it once again. But generally, the second reading is a faster one. So second rapid reading is to be done only when the passage is very complex or difficult to understand. Yes. So after the readings, one has to make out the main idea which is to be kept or retained. So after the readings, then we come to the first step. What is to be retained? What is to be kept? And one has to find out the main topic or the main idea. Secondly, one has to identify the supporting details which are not to be included in the summary. Mind well, not necessarily. The main ideas are compulsorily to be kept, to be retained in the summary. Supporting details, of course, we are supposed to find out. We are supposed to locate. But we have to pause and think whether they are to be included or not. Whether, depending on the length of the text or the length of the summary that you are supposed to follow. You have to decide whether the supporting details are to be included, but of course on the basis of their importance. If the supporting details you find are important, whether it can be shortened and incorporated, or whether you think they are not that very necessary and they can be dropped, it doesn't make any difference in the total meaning of the of your text. Of the summary I'm talking about, then it's all right, you can drop them. So you have to decide very cautiously what to keep, what not to keep. Of course, all the main ideas are to be kept, but you have to be you have to use your discretion to decide which supporting details are to be included and which are not. So now the next step, deleting. Do not include supporting details in your summary. Fine, I told you, generally we don't, right? After the readings, one has to decide what to include and what not to include. Already this thing I have talked about when we are talking about keeping. But supporting details, we have to be discriminative. We have to decide what to include, what not to include. I repeat. So deleting is also a very careful process. Just take care that you are not dropping or deleting something which has importance, which is a required information to show the relevance or any relationship to the main idea, or without it the meaning won't be complete. You have to think about all these things and decide what to drop. Okay, now we go for the next step, the third one, that is paraphrasing, a very, very important step. After deciding what to keep, what not to keep, you have to then come to certain points, certain text, which is now there in your mind. You think, okay, only this much is useful for conveying the complete meaning. Then also the process doesn't end there. You have to continue your comprehension. You have to go deeper into it. You have to interact with the text as we have learnt in the reading strategies, and then reproduce or restate, recreate the text using your own words, which is very, very important. If you have just reproduced the same text which is stated, you have just curtailed, some sentences you have dropped, some you have kept, it's not the summary. Summarizing is again a complex process. It is a skill where your creativity is also involved. It is like the creation of another original text based on the text given to you, but then it is a skill, right? So let me repeat, paraphrasing is a very important process, the third step after retaining or keeping and deleting or dropping. You have to do it in your own words. Okay, so now we move ahead. Summaries are about the author's details and arguments. They are not the place for personal opinions or judgments. It is a quote by Rick Wormeli, and he says another important point. He states that when you are recreating the text, you have to be careful again, extra cautious, that because you think that it's your originality into it, or what you have understood in your own words you have to state, but that doesn't mean that you have to bring in your opinions, your criticism, or your personal judgments, right? You have to just stick to what the author says. What are the author's arguments? You have to be faithful to the details given and to what the author wants to say. Yes, that you have to never forget. That focus you are not supposed to lose at any point of time in the whole process. So when you are recreating in your own words, of course you have to be faithful, you have to be loyal to the author's idea or the objective, that you must never miss, and don't bring in your judgments, personal value judgments, or it can be your personal opinion or criticism. No way. You are not supposed to do it. So take care, be cautious when you are summarizing, and especially when you are on the third step of paraphrasing. Don't misunderstand or misinterpret these words of doing paraphrasing in your own words. In your own words doesn't mean your own opinions or criticism or judgments. Be careful, it's just the words, not your opinion. Okay, fine. So now we move on to the next one. Summaries should be between 10 to 25% of the original text length and 1% for novels. This I have already told you earlier when we were talking about the length, when the summary is too short or long. Further, I would like to say, I just repeat that point. If a summary is written only to give the reader an idea of what a book or article is about, it can be very brief, say about the 10th of the original. Such summaries are called abstracts. You must have heard about the word abstract. After going through the abstract, one can know whether that book or dissertation or project or research paper will be useful or not, without reading the original. Of course, précis is also the summary, but it has to be about the third of the original. The function of both kinds of summaries is to outline what is said in the original passage and not to support or criticize it. As we have seen here, for novels the summary is just 1%. Right, so this is very important. You might wonder, you might ask, what is the use of this skill of summarizing? It is very useful. When you are a research student, or maybe you are the author of a book, generally, you must have seen on the cover page, the back cover page, or maybe inside, brief outline of the story or the stuff, of that book. Or if it is a research project or dissertation, on the very first few pages you will find the abstract, of the project. So what is this abstract? As I already told you, abstract is generally 1/10 or even less than that. If it is a book form, it is just 1%. So you can imagine how far you can reduce the text. You have to actually gain an overview, of the entire text when you are summarizing, right? So it's a real challenge when you have to reduce such a large stuff, such a big stuff into a smaller one, a shorter one. And the purpose is to give the idea to the readers, those who do not have the time or convenience to go through the original, or before going through the original they get the idea whether it is worth going through or not. So that's why the purpose of abstract is very important. It is to be served in this way. It helps the person to decide whether to go through the original or not, whether it will be useful to him. If you are doing a research, if you are doing some reference work in the library for your research, then such abstracts help you. You are just going through that paragraph or 1 or 2 pages and can decide, right, whether it will be useful to you or not, and you can go for it. So it's very important. Of course, Pressy writing, the students have been taught right from the school, and the teachers generally tell them that it's just 1/3 of the text, and the students try to be very accurate about the length. Maybe sometimes they count the words, total number of words, and even the total number of the Pressy number of words in the Pressy that they have done. They will count and come to the conclusion that okay, the length is all right. So at least we have pre-decided length of certain things, so we have some general idea about the length of the summary, how much long or short it should be. So summaries are generally between 10 to 25% of the original text length, 1% for novels. If the summary is more than 25% of the original text length, you need to delete more details and keep only the important information. But natural, this is how we do. And we have seen, when we are drawing the conclusion that the summary is going longer, what we have to do. If the summary is shorter than the requirement, then what we should do. Already that we have discussed. Okay. One of the toughest parts of summarizing is paraphrasing. This is also repetition. I repeatedly tell you, putting important information into your own words. Okay. So now we move ahead. Let's give paraphrasing a try. Read the passage on the next slide. You will be asked to paraphrase afterwards. So be sure you are comprehending as you read. Now, people used to play football bareheaded. After many injuries, players began to use plain leather caps. Plastic helmets and masks appeared later. Still, many players were getting hurt. To make helmets better, designers studied woodpeckers. Their tough, spongy skulls became the model for modern football helmets. Okay, I hope you have understood. I will go ahead, and I think there are not many difficult words, and you have followed it. Now this is the passage I have read is with the normal pace. Now if you feel that you want to still get a better idea of what it is, you just have a second reading, a rapid reading. People used to play football bareheaded. After many injuries, players began to use plain leather caps. Plastic helmets and masks appeared later. Still many players were getting hurt. To make helmets better, designers studied woodpeckers. Their tough spongy skulls became the model for modern football helmets. Okay, so now we have got little better idea. Now, summarize the text from the previous slide either in writing or orally. Remember to paraphrase. Don't forget, that means you are supposed to do it in your own words. If you follow our 10 to 25% rule, your summary should only be a few sentences. Here is an example of a summary for the passage you read. So here is your answer. Now your answer may slightly vary, but this is the approximate idea, of how you should do this exercise on the given passage. Now let me read out your summary. During football's early days, many injuries occurred due to little or no head protection. Improved football helmets were designed using woodpecker skulls as a model. So just 2 sentences, it tells you all. Now you must have got the idea what we have retained and what we have dropped. Okay, so now let us just go back a little and see what we have dropped. We have used the word bareheaded or many injuries, plain leather caps or plastic helmets, and these things we have dropped. That means we just understood that there was an improvement in the process gradually of making the helmets better and more sturdy. And then there was the model of the woodpecker. So we directly come to that last information, which is important, telling the entire process right from the beginning when the players were playing bareheaded without helmets. Okay, so now I think this understanding, you will find in this very just 2-line summary. During football's early days, many injuries occurred due to little or no head protection. Little includes, that other various options were tried. Now, improved football helmets were designed using woodpecker skulls as a model. So, there were some problems still in the improved version, the trial versions, and then there was the last model, more suitable based on the woodpecker skulls. So, this, I think it conveys the entire meaning of the passage very briefly. Your summary and paraphrase will not be exactly the same as the example shown. However, it should include the following important details. Now, what are the important details that we have covered? Football was originally played with little or no head protection. That is the first. Injuries occurred. Second point. Third, improved helmets or head protection were modeled after woodpecker skulls. So these details are to be retained. These are important, right? So that we have included in those 2 sentences. The earlier original passage length may be 5 sentences, 5 to 6, but then we have reduced it to 2. So now, what are the points to be remembered? Okay. Summaries are short restatements of a work's main points. When writing a summary, be sure to record the work's major ideas. Summaries condense a text's main ideas into a few concise sentences. A summarized work is always much shorter than the original. A summary of a work's thesis and supporting points should be written in your own words. Okay, so the same 3 steps are here explaining more details. Okay, so short restatements of a work's main points. Don't forget to record the major ideas. Then convert those long details into the shorter one, into the concise sentences. Condensation, the process of condensation. After deciding what is to be kept and what is to be deleted, the process of condensation is very important. That is the 3rd step here. Use concise and simple sentences, brief sentences. A summarized work is always much shorter, of course, than the original. And the last one is paraphrasing, which should be in your own words. Just take care that you are restating everything in your own words, not the same words that you are following. Okay, so now we come to some important tips. Already I gave you the tips earlier that one way of reducing the length of the text is by replacing phrases of more than one word or single word with a single word. Another way of reducing the text or the length of the sentence is to change its structure, and do not add any detail or comment on your own which is not there in the original. So now let us see what are the tips given here apart from these. When summarizing, avoid examples, asides, analogies and rhetorical strategies. Yes, we are supposed to drop the examples, or there can be any tables, quotations, diagrams, etc. They are not to be included in your summary. So this is again about the second step of deleting. What to drop, what to delete. You should be very clear that these things are not to be incorporated. Secondly, only quote and paraphrase words and phrases that you feel you absolutely must to reproduce exactly the author's full meaning. Yes, you just take those words or quotes and again convert them in your own words or paraphrase, which you think you must reproduce, which you think you must take, and which conveys the author's meaning fully and completely. So that is to be kept. Now the third point is, keep in mind that your summary must fairly represent the author's or author's original ideas. Yes, always keep in mind this thing, that you are not going to lose focus on this, that the author's originality should not be lost at any cost. Now again, the whole process, let us just review it once more. The checklist, what you should do, what you should not do, keeping in mind the tips that are given to you. So number 1, reread your source until you fully understand it. That already we have done earlier. We had the second quick or rapid reading. So reread your source until you fully understand it. Write a one sentence restatement of the source's main idea without looking at the source. After understanding, just keep that in your mind, what is the main point, and rewrite in your own words, in just minimum possible words. It may be just one sentence. So try to write the topic or theme in one sentence. Use the text main idea as your summary's topic sentence. Fourthly, already that we have done, pull out the text main ideas. If any more ideas, important ideas are there, note them down. Write the summary in your own words. Avoid looking at your source while writing your summary. So now take help of the statements which you have written in your rough draft or in your first draft. Don't look into the original text again. Already you have dropped certain things, right? So then you are not going into those details again. Just keep before your eyes the draft which you have made. Okay, now what next? If you must include some of the sources, original words and phrases, quote and paraphrase accurately. Only look into the text again for keeping some important words or quotes, okay, which will help you in keeping the original views or ideas of the author. Then only you have to be faithful only to those expressions, right? Just for your accurate paraphrase. And the last thing, document the sources, author, title, date of publication and any other important citation information. If you are doing a reference work, right, and you are doing library work and you are summarizing, don't forget to take into account all the details which are mentioned here in the last point. So this is the whole process of summarizing. Just go through the checklist once more and make it clear in your mind what you are supposed to do. Now we move on. Summarizing tricks. Let's look at some strategies or tricks that will help you summarize. Now these are the 5 tricks, not the tips. Now these are the techniques which will help you in summarizing better. Number 1 is text features. Number 2 is vocabulary. Number 3, topic sentences, reporters' notes, who, what, where, when, why, how, etc. and organizers. So now let us go into these points one by one. Text features. Text features such as titles, subtitles, bold, color, margin, notes, etc. are clues to a text most important information. Information you may want to include in your summary. Okay, so just notice whether there are any bold types or any subtitles or some color marks are there. Then you have to take note about such text features, which are the expressions of the main idea, which will give you the clue to the main idea. Next is vocabulary. If a text gives you a list of important vocabulary in its preview, or your teacher provides vocabulary prior to a unit of study, use these vocabulary words as important information that should be included in your summary. Yes, just as we considered this in our comprehension, reading comprehension, take help of the glossary or the meanings which are given by the teacher or in the text itself if the words are explained. Okay, take note of that for better understanding. Third is topic sentence. When reading a short text, identify the topic sentence in each paragraph. A topic sentence holds the most important information in a paragraph. Therefore, a summary can be written simply by paraphrasing the topic sentences into your own words. Yes, after you are able to find out the topic sentence or sentences, the job becomes half easier. It's already half done. Then the next half job is just to put them in your own words. Reporters notes that who, what, where, when, why, how. Identify the answers to each of the above items. Take your answers, write them into paragraph form, and you have the framework for your summary. Okay, and the fifth is organizers. The following slides show examples of organizers that will assist you with summarizing. If you are doing the summary of a larger text, I think this kind of organizers will help you. If it is your project, it's your dissertation, if you are writing an abstract, maybe it can be an abstract of a book. You can also find these organizers on Miss McAllister's Swift website under Documents, Organizers. Okay, you can even surf on the net, about such more formats of organizers. Let us have a look at one such format. Select the specific text features that match your text. Enter them in the column headings below. Fill in boxes beneath. Use the information in the boxes to compile your summary. So this is about the text features. Whatever features you find, you have to write it here one by one. Beginning here, just one example of subtitles is given. It can be color or any other way of the highlights. Summarizing graphic. Now this is about vocabulary, another organizer. So each word and its meaning or definition you can here make a list of. Okay. Now with reporters notes, another format you have the words who, where, when, how, why, so what, etc. So remember, summarizing is a powerful tool to help you understand and remember what you read. Okay, it is also a great study aid as you can condense essays, articles or chapters from books for further reference. Summaries are of great help in checking if a book or article is of relevance to someone working on a particular subject. They are also useful for the people who have no time to read the original. Thus, the scholars or scientists use summaries of research reports, articles and books to find out if they want to read the original or not. Hence, it is a great reference skill too. Now, these are some reference material which will be useful to you, a bibliography. Hope you have learned how to summarize. It is a powerful writing skill, useful in many respects. So, hope you would try to improve upon your skill of summarizing by practicing more, and these tips, these tricks and the checklist, the entire process that we have here learned will help you in summarizing better in the best possible way. Thank you.
Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.